CBO Tech, where you choose the background. What, you going with that?
Hey, welcome to another exciting adventure of the Cranky Geeks. I'm your host, John C. Dvorak, and we've got a really good show lined up for you this week. Hope you had a good Halloween, because every year we forget to do a gag that we intended to do, not to mention we should wear masks or something, but it's too late now. But let's begin by introducing today's guests, including and beginning with the co-crank Sebastian Ruppli, who's also now the editor and editor-in-chief of the online site GigaOM, that famous, there's a couple of famous people that name these sites after themselves, and Emmanuel Giga's GigaOM is no exception.
He's Om Malik.
What?
He's Om Malik.
Well, why isn't it Malik Ohm then?
There's not Emmanuel Giga. Who's Emmanuel Giga?
It's Emmanuel Ohm.
Well, why isn't it Malik Ohm then? Or something like that. I don't get, who's Giga? Is it a partnership between somebody named Giga and Malik?
It's just a little tech reference. Giga as in gigabyte.
Oh, that's
as if you get that much Om Malik.
Interesting. Yeah, we get that much. I get it. That's funny. So you're getting a giga.
I could tell by all the laughter that was coming from you.
Yeah. David Sparks over here kibitzing before his time. He's the host of the Spark Minute, and also has
my name in it.
Some writing. Yeah, it says Spark in there, but your last name is not Minute.
It's Minute Bowl. He's a co-author with me.
Okay, good. And across from me is Sam Levin, who's a quote-unquote brand evangelist, and it means he's a bought and paid gunslinger for God knows what.
For anyone.
Anyone, anything, anywhere, anytime.
Anything for a buck.
Well, here, let's talk about this. Google talks up the Chrome OS once again. Web applications such as Gmail and Google Wave are paving the way for, does anybody use Google Wave? For major adoption of the Google Chrome web browser, and fueling the forthcoming Chrome operating system, says Sundar Pichai, a Google VP. Does the Chrome OS have a chance? Well, does it?
I think the Chrome OS has some problems, actually, with Windows 7 out there going on netbooks. Chrome OS is mainly targeted to go on netbooks, and it looks like Windows 7 is going to do a good job for everybody. People will have more application choice with it, I think, than they will with Chrome OS. So I don't know. Also, I'm not so sure that Google Wave is going to be such a hit. I hear from a lot of people who have the invites.
I have it. I've got it. It doesn't do anything. What is good?
But you have to.
It's got like a CB simulator kind of quality to even the chat room.
It strikes me as the same thing. How many years have we heard about this? You're going to have a universal inbox. Your voicemail will be in there. Your RSS feeds. Everything will all be in the same place. And we still don't have that. You go to 9 different places to check for it.
I'll tell you something.
Microsoft's new Office suite thing is supposed to try to do
I've been hearing this since the 80s, that everything's going to be consolidated into one thing.
They never have delivered.
And when you change something in your email,
it'll automatically change.
It'll change it on a spreadsheet over here, and it's going to change it over here, and the blog post is going to...
All of that is possible if you're willing to put the endless amounts of configuration in, of which no one does.
By the way, Google Voice is good.
Yeah, I use it. There's not a lot of us that have invites to it. You have to be invited to get it.
Yeah.
You can't just.
You can't just get it.
No.
Well, I have it.
Not
but
yet.
I don't
It's
use
not
it.
open.
You should use it.
It's not a public open.
We have a good story on GigaOM actually about how you can use all your numbers with it now too. There's no restrictions.
They've changed the thing. Yeah.
Right.
That's a cool thing.
And then where's the app? There's still not the Google Voice app. It wasn't released still from Apple. So we're waiting for that too.
Right.
So, does anybody here think the Chrome is something worth continuing to talk about, or is it?
My whole thing
or is it just another thing?
It's Google's old story about trying to buy. You remember when they were going after that 700 megahertz bandwidth a while ago?
Right.
They were trying to get that. If they can somehow figure a way to get ubiquitous broadband, which, with all the lobbying power all the telcos have, I don't think it's going to be happening tomorrow. But the GigaOM, Jesus, it's Chrome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Product placement.
Good product placement.
The
Chrome OS could be potentially huge. But, the days of ubiquitous broadband, which we would all love, who knows when that's coming.
All right, well, that sucks.
Android is a bigger story for Google than
Well, let's
Chrome
talk about it. Verizon,
Yes,
Google, and
today it
Motorola
is.
are making lots more noise. You know, the Droid phone came out a week ago. And the iPhone, there's multitasking.
Right.
So you wrote this whole card up just to kind of promote the multitasking.
Yeah, actually, well, that's the whole positioning of the Droid is that it's
I
an
think that-
iPhone killer at multitasks.
The real
It has-
killer is it's
it
going
has
to have
interchangeable batteries.
turn-by-turn voice instructions on every phone that you get, and you don't have to pay all this extra money for nothing.
That's not going to make it the killer
For me.
phone. You're 0.002% of the total audience.
So what's going to make it
Did
the
I
killer
once-
phone?
It's first of all, the integration of application and iTunes Store is why the phone is so popular, and it's a great media
That's true.
device.
We were
No,
talking
that's
about
cool.
this before.
It's popular because it's cool. You get to flip
No,
things
but the
and
integration
go
of
like
they've
this.
created literally an entire environment
It's-
for revenue.
it's-
Huge.
I noticed you don't even say the name of the phone. You just say the phone. Like
Yes.
the register says.
Yes.
Yo, first of all,
Jesus
talk
phone.
about evangelist. His obsession with anything Mac related is surreal.
It's not. This is not about Mac. This is about. This is
It's,
a
no,
whole
it's
new-
about your obsession.
Okay. Anyway, so the integration really
Why
is
do you have
key.
two Mac phones?
Mac phones
Mac
now?
phones.
They're iPhones.
The Mac phone. Who can
Okay.
utter the name? We're
I've
talking
got
about
a
the
working
iPhone, people.
because I've got a working phone and I've got my demo phone that just
Oh,
has my.
okay.
Did your demo phone not work?
Yes, but it's not working with the cellular connection. Anyway, so I think that's a big deal. The iTunes integration is why it's so popular. It's one of the biggest reasons. So if they if they integrate a really cool store, and it could be outrageously cool.
You know what? This is
The
100% true. I remember years ago I was at CES and people were showing off this. Predates the iPhone or the iPod Touch. They were showing
Right.
the video players, and there was literally like about 50 of them on this just one wall. And I said, "Well, how do you get stuff on it?" And then everyone just responded generically, "Oh, we've got software for that." But they didn't think, that's a core part of selling the device, and that's why all those things on the wall failed, and that was the one that succeeded.
So we'll see. It's too early to tell. The multitasking, look, the Pre has multitasking. It does it really well. You can go onto email, surf the web, go back to email. I believe the iPhone will probably have that. Maybe not in the next month, but I believe they'll have it.
Whoever comes out on a very strong network that's not AT&T that works 80% as good as the iPhone will do very well.
Yeah, we'll add 30 million devices within a less than 2-year period. Then we'll see how that network is. So.
Sounds like a promotion to me. They should be advertising on this show. Let's see who is advertising. I'm going to take a break right now. I'll be right back right after this.
I'm Danica Patrick, IndyCar driver and GoDaddy girl. I know a little bit about speed, so take it from me. If you want a fast way to make a name for yourself on the internet, GoDaddy has everything you need. GoDaddy got me online fast, and they can do the same for you. .com names as low as $1.99. When you have something to say it at GoDaddy.com.
Welcome back to Cranky Geeks. With regard to that GoDaddy ad you just saw, domain names with GoDaddy are up to 70% less than the competition. Plus, as a Cranky Geeks viewer, you can enter the code CRANK, C-R-A-N-K, and get an additional 10%. Some restrictions apply. See the site for details. Okay, cell phone boycotters. Some 85% of adults in the United States have cell phones, according to the Pew Internet and American Life Project. The rest have strategies for living without. What, 15%? They have strategies. There's hermits. There's more hermits than that in
No,
this country.
my sister this year finally got a cell phone. Finally broke down.
She wasn't going for the strategy for living without.
She was living without up until just this past year.
Well, she get caved. It screws up the whole numbers. It's going in the opposite direction. The trend is bad.
She's what's called an outlier in statistics. That's one of those crazy
She's
people.
more scared of technology
Well,
in general.
either way, it's an outlier.
Yeah.
What do you do? Well, how did that happen?
She is. She's just scared of technology. She is. She's very scared. She uses it.
She
She's a
probably
computer.
doesn't
She's
fly
not
in-
as adept to it as her
Does
brother
she fly in
is.
planes either? Probably.
She flies in planes.
Oh, wow.
She's fine. She's
Okay.
not
Does
as.
she get on a train? Maybe a
She
train.
gets on a train. There's certain
Does that
technologies.
bother her?
She just
Car
not
horns?
for me.
turning signals? Has that got her spooked?
She's got flush toilets too.
Just wondering.
Something.
What's her name?
My sister. I'm not telling which sister it is.
You almost.
I have multiple sisters.
He's multiple sisters. I think they're screwed up because of you.
That may have a lot to do with it.
Yeah, some comeback. So, does anybody? I don't like cell phones. Period. I think they're a bane. People walking down the street with them, they're yakking away.
You used to write a lot of columns about how you hated people making noise on airplanes with them, and
Yeah, they're yakking.
generally
Oh, I'm so
annoying.
important. Hello, yo, we're gonna close that.
Yeah, you know
we
what's
gotta
worse?
close that deal.
Here's the thing that drives me crazy: is the second the plane lands, everybody has to call somebody the second they land.
Yeah.
Leave a friggin' text message, or wait till you get off the darn
Actually,
plane.
text messaging is the way to go.
What's worse are these ugly headsets that people have. They're blinking blue, and you wonder
Just
if
in
they're
case
schizophrenic.
we don't know it's blue.
right? You think they're schizophrenic
you
because
think
they're like,
their
hey,
head's gonna
hey,
explode.
hey, and I'm like, where are they? And I'm like, there's a headset.
I know,
That's
that
what's
is-
bad
I
because
can't
then you
stand
start
it.
talking to yourself as well. But
Oh yeah,
anyway.
we all know the very thin line between a crazy person and somebody talking on the phone.
So I was at the airport once, and some guy had one of those Bluetooth things on. But because of the airport, I guess there was crappy reception in there. He's holding his phone in the air, way up in the air, like the Statue of Liberty, while yelling at somebody in his Bluetooth thing about some deal that's going down.
Oh, God.
And he's wandering around like this. I think I took a movie of it. You know, we have to start a website where we just take pictures and movies of people like this and just post them.
That
It
would
has
be
to
a
be an
great
anonymous
site.
site, probably somewhere in Poland or something. So you this is an invasion of our privacy. Like you're not invading our privacy,
Right.
but you're yelling on the phone all the time.
JackassesonCellphones.com. I'm sure someone will buy it.
Well, they can help us maybe, and they make sure it's
We use it with GoDaddy.
hosted and right. You
And,
get
and
10%
fill the
off.
word crank.
Use the code word crank.
I know someone will now buy that.
Anyway, okay. Apple's Jesus phone at the Web 2.0 Summit. Morgan Stanley's managing director, Mary Meeker, who's never out of the scene when things are bubbling away, revealed that the iPhone iPod Touch, there's the graph to prove it, is the fastest growing consumer electronics platform in history.
So what she means is faster than the personal computer, faster than radio, faster than anything you can come up with.
Well, electronics platform. I don't know. Yeah. You could call
It's
radio
pretty
that.
fast.
It's
But it's not. But you know, there's something that these fast growth curves always bother me because with the internet, everyone saw stuff that wasn't there. What you're seeing oftentimes, especially with this, I think with these phones, is a smartphone pent-up demand for something that actually works.
Yeah.
In other words, this curve, if this product was available longer, the curve ramp would have made more sense.
Yeah.
These fast ramps like this are just like panic buying at the end.
You know what
it
I
will
really
go
noticed?
flat.
You know what I really noticed though, as a dad, is how different growing up now is because of these phones and all this texting and stuff from how we grew up. These kids are like in an immersive world all the time, where texts are flowing in, the things vibrating all the time. They tie it to their Facebook, so then the waterfall of messages they've got on Facebook.
all
gives
they're
them
doing is
buzzing.
they're accelerating the behavior of passing notes digitally. That's all it is.
Yeah, we used to do it by writing on a piece of paper and then folding it into a model airplane, little paper
No,
airplane,
but-
and then you just fling it and hit somebody in the head.
No, I
with it.
I just noticed.
There's an
Coach,
iPhone app for
they
you.
They don't spend as much time reading, I think, as people used to, and then in turn they can't write.
And
as
no
well.
email.
And
I
so-
think they
No,
read
I don't
more than you
believe that. I think kids are
like-
writing a lot more because of all these technologies.
Yeah, they're writing on their little phone with the
Writing on
little
the phone,
keyboards.
they're writing emails,
They're
blogging.
writing
We didn't
OMG,
do.
OMG, and LOL. That's not going to help you get into Harvard.
hey, BFP.
You don't know
I believe
that.
that's on the
That's
SATs.
not necessarily true. You don't know what the Harvard people are taking nowadays. OMG may be just what they want to see. Anyway, your point?
I'm just saying it has changed the culture of young people irrevocably.
Irrevocable.
That I
Wow.
agree
Like
with. It has.
rock and roll before it.
But I believe it's just an acceleration of existing behavior.
I agree.
Existing behavior stinks. We need a better educational structure in this country, and we have to
That
admit that
is
there
for
is technology that should be
That is
incorporated
for
in
sure.
the education.
You know what else
structure.
I loathe this concept that everyone has to get straight A's to get into school. I mean, the UC, University of California system, you can't get into any of these schools without a 4.0 average.
No.
Who do you know that is good at everything?
4.5.
Who do you
have
know-
to take
are
a
you
bunch
good-
of advanced placement courses to get into
Are you
Berkeley.
good at everything? Can you surf, play the guitar, play the ukulele, do the show? I mean, no. People are specialists.
All at the same time,
People are
simultaneously.
specialists.
Maybe. All right, we'll get into an educational debate on one of these specials that we're going to do sometime in the future. Meanwhile, Hulu is going to charge for content, they say. Hulu's backers, this is really Rupert Murdoch behind all this, wants to stick lots of its content behind a paywall starting next year. News Corp executives, that's called Rupert Murdoch, have said that free ad-supported model isn't bringing home enough bacon. Will people... What do the Jewish people think about this bacon company?
I don't know. I
If
can't
it's half
speak
price,
for,
that's
for
okay,
my
you know?
people, John. But I spoke about this very subject on a previous episode, and I think the solution here is to give the content a little earlier than normally would be broadcasted. I think DirecTV was doing this for 24.
This is one of your 3 or 4 really good ideas.
One of the 3 or 4. The idea is like, if you could see the episode of Lost 24 hours earlier, would you pay
Some
$3
fanatics
for that?
would.
You would pay.
You would get a fortune. They would, yes, plenty.
They won't do it.
Would do it. Oh,
They won't. I don't think they'll do that though.
Oh, you
Why?
don't think
Because they don't want the money?
No, it's not, they're because of the
Because
other
they're
audience
stupid?
member. No, I just don't think they'll buy that. I think that they're going to start charging for it. And I'm bummed out because I love Hulu. I think it's really innovative. I think they need to form partnerships with people like Boxy, which they still haven't because of.
I think DirecTV did a similar formula like this with like 24. Didn't they? Did they do a thing where you could get it on DirecTV? Like
I don't have
24
DirecTV.
hours earlier.
I'm a distant.
This was a
Dish
while
Network
ago. They
customer.
tried this.
I just hope. I watched the ads for the uninterrupted versions before, right? I watched the full ad to see the whole uninterrupted show. No problem. I will watch it. Put the ads on as long as you give me the full show.
No, but this is ABC's model. ABC did this where you can watch full episodes with ads on ABC.com or go to iTunes and for $2 download it and get no ads. And
Right.
you get both audiences: the audience that'll put up with ads and the audience that won't put up with ads. And you make money from both.
Well,
of them.
maybe there's a lot of audiences they should exploit instead of just seeing everything as one model.
Well, that's 2 models, and I'm sure there's a
probably
lot
10.
of gray areas in between.
Test the models.
They
See.
should test. They need to do more testing. Marketing 101. We're going to take a break. We'll be right back right after this message. Hey, if you're looking for the perfect match, go to eharmony.com. Use the code EHCranky and you'll get 4 months for the price of 3. That's eharmony.com, the code EHCranky.
Good Clean Tech promises to report on the latest eco-friendly developments. That way, we'll always be able to remember moments like these. Visit goodcleantech.com, the independent guide to eco-technology.
Welcome back to Cranky Geeks. We have no card for this little demo we're now going to show you. And we will have, but you're going to give us an explanation.
Absolutely. You want me to tell you what it is now or later?
Sam Levin here came in with this little app. That's why he's sitting at the end where he shouldn't be because he doesn't have the seniority. Just thought I'd mention that for
Thank
anybody
you.
He's older than
for
me.
anyone who's got a stickler for the details. So you got an app that you wanted to show us, and you're the guy that it turns out that's behind trying to subvert our theme song. Play it.
Okay, so I've got an app called Looptastic. It's on an iPhone or iPod Touch.
Hold it still.
And the whole idea is that you can create your own loops. And I think it's pretty cool because creating your own music is much more fun than just listening to it. But we're integrating some crank to it. I call it Cranky Loops. Anyway, these guys have created some stuff for Cranky Geeks. We're also... Looptastic, or Sound Trends is the company, is going to give away this loop set for free for the next month starting November 1.
So let's hear it.
All
So
right,
this is a new intro for our show?
Well, actually, I want to start...
And you created this all on the app, right?
This is all... I'm creating this on the fly right now, so hold on a second.
So you're not playing the music, you're going to mix the music together.
I'm mixing it.
in
I'm
real
mixing it. Just hold on, give me a second.
What do you like at this beat?
Hold on. Bear with me.
What?
That's not bad.
Hold on.
Oh, it's a rap!
So what did you get? Where'd you get all the sound samples?
They sampled them.
Zoom lens and a stereo mic. Cranky meter. A crankometer. Access restricted. Prototypes is now missing in China where they love to make copies of it. Here's the kind of
that's our cranky.
All right,
list.
that was good.
It'd probably be better than the actual show itself.
Anyway, so we're gonna get. If you go and download Looptastic, they have a light version. It's free on the iPhone.
And does it come with all the
Okay, you can
the
go to
quotes
their
from-
Loop store, download Cranky Geeks Loop. It's free for 1 month.
Ah, cool.
Pretty cool.
Okay, well, our attorneys will be speaking to him later.
I thought the theme song rocked pretty well there.
I think
thought
so
it was
too.
good.
Yeah,
I recommend that as an outro.
It's a possibility.
All right.
It's just a matter of whether our producer feels like actually doing it. It's like called extra work. Okay, we got the Hulu. Anyway, that was fun. Thanks.
You're welcome.
Is Nokia running scared? Nokia's got issues. Nokia recently declared an intellectual property war against Apple, which I think is a good idea, alleging the iPhone infringes on 10 patents relating to wireless technologies. But you know, Nokia's cell market share is dropping, and the open source Symbian OS, which they bought for some unknown reason, instead of just going with if they should have the insight, the foresight to go with Android, they'd have saved a lot of money and been better off.
They would have been better off. It was over a year ago, well over a year ago, that Symbian announced this intent to open source its platform, you know, and still they're just in beta.
Gonna go
It's
anywhere.
like, do they
It's too
realize
little,
how
too
much
late.
competition is going on?
It's over for Symbian.
And actually Nokia, which of course runs the Symbian stuff, just reported terrible financial results. They're losing market share in North America. I mean, what are they doing?
You know, they were adding features like the Zoom was. Remember that thing, like, you know, you match with another Zoom?
It's called squirting.
Squirting?
Yeah, it's disgusting.
Yeah, it's the name
What
called squirting.
Well, anyways, we were talking about this last night. I have a Nokia N98 that's got a video camera on it for chat, so you can do video chat.
Yeah.
I don't know one other person that's got this same exact phone so I could do video chat. So I've never done it.
Yeah. Well, these phones have come out. These video chat phones have come and gone over the years, and you think they'd have noticed that. I saw the first time I saw one of those. I remember, I forgot what brand it was, but it was either Ericsson or Nokia. They had a camera on both sides, and you
Yeah,
could
that's
talk
what
to
this one
yourself, and then you can see yourself, and you chat with somebody. But who uses it? Nobody.
I don't know anyone.
Yeah. Well, I still prefer the Nokia phone. I've got a
You got the E71.
yeah, which is a gorgeous little phone.
Has a good keyboard, good audio.
It does what I need to do with the phone. I can't find it. Somebody
All right,
stole it.
no worries.
It's so great of a phone, they stole it from me.
You know, PC Mag just did these cell phone tests, or actually, no, it was a survey of all the readers and what they use. You know what the winning phone for sound quality and just generally good call quality was? Samsung phones.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Fascinating story. All right, U.S. regulators come after Intel. We're going to take that story, but first we're going to take a break. We'll be right back right after this message. Hi, I'm John C. Dvorak with a look at Squarespace. Every week I want to take a look at some of the cool features of this new blogging software system that relies on Ajax for almost everything it does. Take a look at this. I go to the website management toolbar at the beginning here after I'm logged in, and I can come over here, and now I can go to the statistics bars, and I can take a look at my traffic overview, refers, popular content, everything going on this blog. Let's click on traffic overview, and you will see that since I just opened this blog today, I've got no traffic at all. What am I going to do? Actually, there's 40 page views. I guess I've been fooling around a lot. Anyway, there's a lot of power behind the scenes on this product, all done in Ajax. It's an amazing thing. I'm John C. Dvorak. I'll be back again next week with another look at Squarespace. Welcome back to the Cranky Geeks. The U.S. regulators to come after Intel. After the EU came after them and scored at $1.44 billion, the U.S. guys go, you know, that $1.44 billion, we could use money like that here in the U.S. of A. We're broke. So now they're going to do the same thing.
Yeah.
Does anybody see a story here, or is it just a follow the leader thing, and then we're not even the leader anymore?
I think that a lot of people perceive the European Union as being harder in a lot of these situations than we are over here. You know, it's true.
Perceive?
It's true with the Sun Microsystems and my MySQL argument and all that. You know, they're upset that it's always Europe that's asking all the questions, while we just seem to be just sitting and watching things float by.
No debate with that? No argument?
No.
No, not really.
Of course there's no argument, because that's exactly what we love to do. Who needs to put all that effort in? Netbooks and Office to hurt Microsoft sales. Strong sales of netbook computers. You know, this is interesting to me, because this netbook sales thing is, I always say, oh, that's the end of the netbook, and now it's going to be laptops all over again called netbooks, and the netbooks for sales aren't doing very well. They're doing well. They're not doing well. Are they doing well or not?
Yes, they're doing well.
They're doing very
They're
well.
doing well.
If you talk to the people who used to charge $1,600 for business notebooks and stuff, believe me, they're hurting. You cannot sell portable computers for more than $800 anymore. It's over.
What are you talking about? The high-end ones, I've seen with the Envy or something like that. It's $2,500 or
Right.
something for the highest version.
Well, and
of it.
Apple actually has carved out a business selling them for $1,000 and a little more than that. But not, on the PC side, you don't go over 800.
Well, it's because you can get a pretty good laptop, notebook computer for. I was looking at the Costco, and I was in there looking around. They have their little netbooks. They got the HP, they got the Acer, they got this, they got that, and then they have it was a Gateway, I believe, for $650. That was huge. It was a big screen. It plays DVDs, has all these features. And I was going to buy any machine that I saw there, I would have probably bought that for that price. Although if I'm going to buy a computer today, it's probably going to be that Apple MacBook Pro with the solid aluminum
Let me tell you
solid
something about it. If you're actually thinking of one of those MacBooks, go to GigaOhm and look at Ohm's post from last night. He just went through his third MacBook in like 3 days because the hard disks died and he lost data, lost his iTunes library. He went to the Apple store and they admitted that they've had problems with the hard disks.
We're talking about they're having actual hardware
check his
failures.
post. He's actually got a picture that leads off the post of a guy with his head in his hands like this. One of the worst computer disaster stories I've read.
It's not common to hear about that. I have a MacBook
I don't
Pro.
know. Rafe
Never had one
Needleman was
problem.
on the show. He said he had 2 in a row that crapped out on him.
Yeah, they said at the Apple store they have hard disk
Am
problems.
I Rafe? You
No, I
just pointed to me.
said when Rafe Needlewood was on the show and he was sitting there.
Oh,
so I'm
but you
pointing.
pointed to me, but I'm not Rafe.
So what?
Guess what?
You're the virtual Rafe for the moment.
Guess what they-
Those are my neighborhood.
When Rafe Needleman was on the show, as you recall, he said he had 2 MacBooks
Yes,
in a
he
row.
did.
Both blow up.
It's actually a problem. Guess what they did at the Apple store to reward him for his patience? He reports in his post too. They gave him a $5 iTunes card.
Well, my son has that 13-inch MacBook Pro and loves it, and that isn't crapped out.
So the netbooks, I think they are going to do some hurt, but why doesn't Microsoft figure a way not to put this huge bloated Office on there and put something that's smaller and still does the same thing instead of, they have how many versions of the OS, how many versions of OS, of Office, put a small version to accommodate smaller devices. That's what I would do. It's huge, Office.
Well, I'm not sure what they're thinking either. So what's this, by the way, before we wrap up? Well, we got time left. What's this bonus topic? Carol Bart says Yahoo got boring.
Oh yeah, that was today actually. Or no, actually it's recently. She said that Yahoo.
She just got there.
Yeah, she said that Yahoo wasn't keeping its eye on the ball as far as getting talked about and being perceived. As
She said that it got boring to the
Yahoo got boring to the outside world.
outside
But speaking of hot rumors, it looks because just recently that Microsoft and Google, made deals with Twitter and also Facebook with Microsoft for real-time search. It's now coming out that Yahoo's making a deal with OneRide, which is a real-time search engine, which is also very good. And nobody's talking, but that
Well, that's what she's referring. Nobody talks about anything Yahoo does. Every time Yahoo shuts down one of the crazy little things, except for GeoCities, which they just shut down like a week ago.
But I think the reason they're not talking about it is they now think Yahoo is Google.
No, you don't.
No, you mean Bing.
Bing, excuse me.
No,
Thank
there's
you. Yahoo,
been
Bing,
so
I'm sorry.
many stories
Same
about
thing Rafe Needleman said.
the Microsoft stuff, the buyout, the merger, this and that. How many times people have drowned it out, guys? That's why
No,
when you
but I
constantly hear stuff and you're like, okay, done.
No, I think they've drowned out the Yahoo thing from years ago. I think nobody talks about Yahoo. And the thing that I'm telling you, it bugs me to no end, and I've asked other people about it. Every once in a while, Yahoo says, we're shutting down this service. I've seen this at least 3 or 4 times in the last 12 months. We're shutting down this service. And I said, I've never heard of this service. And so I go look at the service and say, wow, this is pretty cool. I probably would have used it.
We were talking about this.
I never heard of it.
Fare Chaser was this amazing service Yahoo had, and they shut it down. It was
That
a
was
thing.
for airplane tickets.
Airplane tickets, because what you
I
could do
remember
is you had like all these options to search for flights, and you could keep changing them, and you would see everything dynamically change. It was great. And then one day they just shut it down.
And that was one of those things I didn't hear. You don't know about it. They have a serious public relations problem.
Yeah,
they don't communicate anything to the outside world. They dream up of these cool things. There's like the mousetrap thing dilemma. I've invented this great mousetrap. Everyone's going to buy it now. And then they say nobody's coming to the site. Well, then it must not be any good.
They should have hired David and Sam to get the word out in the social media.
That's it, Yahoo, if you're out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's looking for work. All right, I think that's pretty much wraps. Do we have anything that we wanted to bring up? I'm just looking at the cards. I'm not seeing it.
Oh, the texting while driving.
No, what about it?
Verizon has billboards going up all around and other kinds of ads too, discouraging texting while driving.
Where it's illegal in a certain number of states. I don't know how many.
Smart money drives around looking for people that are texting while driving and then slams on the brakes in front of them, and you get a real quick settlement.
Yeah, just look for a teenager.
And by the way, if you do this, you pull in front of them, and you keep your eye on them, and you see them texting, you slam on the brakes, you claim there's a dog, a cat, or something like that in front of you. That friend of mine used to be an insurance scammer. He told me this. I've never done it. But anyway.
But you're advising it to your listeners.
No, I'm not advising. I'm just telling you how it works. There's no advice here. They get slammed in the back, and he told me that he used to be an insurance adjuster too. He says the main thing you got to do is that you got to stay slouched in the driver's seat and demand an ambulance. Do not get out of the car. Demand an ambulance.
I want you to know there was an episode of Chips just like this. Guy would put on a helmet, he would go and he'd find like Rolls Royces on the highway, and he'd get into an accident with it, roll over a few times, ambulance come and he'd collect.
It's getting carried away.
Thanks, Ponch.
This guy's trick was he would look for people, and he told me the area where you could do this. Look for some woman, she starts doing her makeup. Boom. Anyway, that's really something it's deplorable. We'll be back next week with another Cranky Geeks. I'm John C. Dvorak. Thanks for watching. We'll protect your corporate web from having any access to this, and then you guys they go, boom, access restricted. Now, one of the prototypes is now missing in China, where they love to make copies of things. Here's the kind of the types of now